The new Now You See Me is out with stars galore, but I'm left wondering whether or not we even wanted to see another instalment to the tried and true franchise. I'm gonna be honest, I do like me some good old magic on the big screen. After all, cinema as an art form is largely a game of smoke and mirrors for public amusement. What is good CGI if not modern magic? But what gets me is when studios use the magic of movies to sell us something we don't need. The latest example of this is Now You See Me, Now You Don't, the third instalment in the franchise where legendary magicians, the Horsemen, go up against the big dogs of capitalism, the business leaders, tech tycoons, and now a South African CEO who deals in blood diamonds. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed the first two, a lot, and there are many reasons for that. Chemistry, timing, and a healthy amount of misdirection. But now I'm thinking it was mostly down to the crucial character of Dylan Rhodes, played by none other than Mark Ruffalo. You probably know him as a reliable supporting actor in some of the best films of the last 25 years, from the boy next door type in 13 going on 30, to a new scarily real Hulk in the first Avengers film back in 2012. 1 year later, he re-emerged once again with Now You See Me, which was a nice step up for him. I say this as the first film's twist ending did something no one expected. The film saw Ruffalo transcend the role of supporting character, as we find out that the story doesn't orbit around Atlas, but the FBI agent turned Fifth Horseman who was chasing them the whole film. It seems obvious to say it now, but that was fun, that was exciting, and it was made that way through the believability of his performance and story arc in the film. I won't delve too deep into it, but I like that. It elevated Now You See Me from becoming just another forgettable film because of the seriousness of having a dramatic actor in the mix. Having Dylan as the main antagonist helped anchor the silly antics of magicians on the run, as the stakes were now higher. The new film has none of those stakes. Having the original Horseman back is great and all, but it doesn't hit the same. The action is there for sure, and people like me who enjoyed the fast-paced magic fights will come to enjoy that in the new instalment, but for me, it's lacking something. From my perspective, it looks like the studio has handpicked 3 up-and-coming stars and thrown them together to get audiences talking about what it might be like. Pokemon guy, Barbie girl, and the cherry on top, the Holdovers guy. For all intents and purposes, this feels like the studio saying, sugar, we've run out of ideas, where's our emergency wildcard? And then pulling out 3 affordable faces and a fat paycheck for the main cast. Anyways, with all that said, I far from hated the film. The action is great, and although we've seen all this before, it wasn't god-awful. I was pleasantly surprised by how magical Rosamund Pike's South African accent work is. Hats off to her, but just not as great as the previous 2 in my opinion. They were faster, funnier, and more grounded, which is weird to say about a film all about real-world sorcery. Overall, I'd give it a 5 out of 10, a slightly lower score for the annoyingness of modern studio films playing it safe constantly. Thanks for watching, I've been Never Hold Back, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!